Welcome back, and there's the segment. Now, in future weeks, you're going to be getting more specific about what the audience can do, correct?
Absolutely. I'm going to be getting more specific about how to become more in tune to the link between emotions and overeating, and the relationship between compulsions to eat and a disorder now that's considered pretty significant, which is overeating, night eating, as it relates to food addiction.
Now, for the Spanish-speaking audience, can you kind of summarize what the segment was about?
Yes. So, el segmento que tuvimos es hablando de cómo es la correcta manera de comer. Entonces, cuando estamos pensando en rebajar, usualmente el público piensa que tiene que comer muy poco. Y eso no es la realidad. La realidad es que lo que uno necesita es comer suficiente vegetales y frutas. Entonces, en segmentos que siguen voy a hablar mucho más de la conexión de las emociones y por qué muchas personas sufren de la adicción a comida.
Just remember that there is a Spanish-speaking version of the segment, which will be shown later in the show. So,
yes.
But, you know, for people who are watching now, by the way, 617-708-3290 will be the number. At the end of the show, we're going to be taking phone calls for not only Nicole, but for our other guests, Clara Angelina Diaz and Sharon German. But for now, let's go into some of your background and what qualifies you to give this advice.
Great question. So one of the things that I was fortunate of was being able to create a new degree at Boston University Medical School. As the only graduate of the medical school who combined a field in mental health counseling and behavioral medicine, so psychology, and medical nutrition. So fusing those fields is what has enabled me to coin the term behavioral nutritionist. I have the degree in behavioral medicine and a degree in medical nutrition. As a result of that, I created a company called Behavioral Nutrition, which has been created to really serve the community, specifically the Latino community, in providing public access to educational tools, seminars and information that people can sign up for, and also individual consultations for people that really want to change their relationship with food and finally lose weight forever.
¿Y en español?
Sí. So, una de las cosas que es diferente de mí es que yo tuve un graduate degree de la Escuela de Medicina de Boston University y yo combiné el estudio de psicología y también el estudio de medicina nutricional. En eso, Len, yo pude entender cómo la relación de las emociones y la comida se afecta uno al otro. So, con eso, yo también hice una compañía muy diferente que se llama Behavioral Nutrition. Esta compañía está hecha para el público y también en consideración de las necesidades de la comunidad latina, para ayudar a la comunidad latina a rebajar y obtener una nueva relación con la comida.
Okay. Now, there are so many things out there. Dr. Oz, I can't even name them all. There's so many theories, so many diets, so many articles. What's out there that people would know that is common sense, in your opinion? Is Dr. Oz okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that is incredible about television now is that it can provide the public information that you just can't get from signing up for certain diet plans or certain systems of teaching people how to eat, whether it be counting points or counting carbs. So in terms of the information that you get from things that are being presented through the media, I think that there are some mixed messages. There are so many times that people women in particular, are victims of opening a magazine and finding one magazine advertisement is for a dessert, and then the very next page is a magazine advertisement for a new diet. So all of those mixed messages are ones that confuse the public. And as a result of that, people often find that they develop a love-hate relationship with food. That's really at the source of what we at Behavioral Nutrition do that's different. We help people tap into the emotional needs of their overeating. What is it that's triggering them? So when I think about what's wrong with how people are understanding how to relate to food, the core is changing this all or nothing and love and hate relationship with food. Thinking of food as being either good or bad.
¿En español?
Bueno, una de las razones que yo pienso que en el público la información que tenemos es una de contrasto dramático. Primero, hay demasiada información que dice que siempre debemos estar en una dieta. Y la otra cosa que hacemos es que usualmente también hablamos de las comidas que nosotros nos gustamos comer más frecuentemente. Entonces, en esos extremos, obviamente las personas se sienten como que tienen que estar en una dieta o constantemente comiendo. Y todo eso causa problemas emocionales contra la comida y para comer demasiado. Entonces, una de las cosas que nosotros hacemos en la compañía de Behavioral Nutrition es que ayudamos a la persona con las emociones que causa que ellos comen demasiado. Y entendiendo eso es una método muy diferente de entender por qué uno come demasiado y cómo comer diferente.
Now, there are not only conflicting messages between liking food and hating food, but there are also conflicting messages among the dieters themselves. Some of them say that you can't eat fruit because there's too much sugar in the fruit. The other ones swear by the fruit because it's natural. Mm-hmm. How do you know what you're reading is not a waste of time?
That's a great question, Len. And I think that on an individual level, all the needs of the public are different. And so someone might come to read an article that speaks to fruit being bad, mm-hmm. or certain high sugar foods being bad, or high carbohydrate foods. And I think if you're a diabetic, then that's something that you need to monitor more closely. Mm-hmm. For the average healthy adult, there's absolutely no reason, unless you have an allergy to certain foods, for you not to eat natural foods like fruits and vegetables.
I actually read an article online that said they compared sugar with cocaine. What do you think of that? That's pretty extreme.
Absolutely. That's very extreme, but the recent research has been pointing to a tremendous amount of studies supporting this concept of food addiction, right, which has been very controversial in the public and in the media. Because to think that something that we have to live on, right, food, can actually be addictive is quite scary. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that in that article they talked a lot about sugar being related to a drug in mm-hmm. its relation to its influence on the brain. And mm-hmm. a lot of studies are showing that the reward systems of your brain can actually be just as activated by something mm-hmm. like high sugar, high fat foods like fast food or candy bars as drugs do.
Mm. ¿En español?
Bueno, hay muchos estudios ahora. Lo que Len me preguntó fue que él leyó un artículo de que la adicción a azúcar es en muchos aspectos parecido a la adicción a las drogas. Y irónicamente, los estudios ahora están enseñando que sí es verdad que hay una conexión dentro del cerebro que enseña que hay mucha gente que son adictas a la azúcar y la comida alta en grasa, y que el efecto es en muchos sentidos similar al efecto que tienen las drogas en el cerebro.
Okay. We're going to get ready for Clara Angelina Diaz to come in a few minutes.
Yes,
but first I want to introduce the segment of Medicine with Maricela, where she talks about heat stroke. Heat stroke is very prevalent in weather such as we're having right now. Heat, humidity, you can get dehydrated very easily, even though it's very moist just to breathe. Mm-hmm. So let's go to that right now on location at Revere Beach. We did this a couple of weeks ago. Medicine with Maricela.